Everybody, Dr. Mark Bowers here from Parenting Superhero. Wanted to record a quick video in the event that anyone watching has ever experienced any apprehension or stress or anxiety, fear, or pain when it comes to getting a shot at the doctor's office. I want to introduce you to a cool little device that could be an absolute game changer for you, so stay tuned. All right, so today we're going to be talking about pain and shot anxiety or shot phobia or white coat syndrome. And I think most of us can attest that if you are taking your child in for their, annual flu shot or they need to update an immunization or vaccination, that it can be a pretty wild ride. And I want to talk to you about this little yellow device. It's made by a company called Bionics, and the device is called a shot blocker. And just a disclaimer here that I do not work for this company. I don't own any shares or stock in this company. Me recommending this to you is really just to help you. Certainly, I'm sure this probably helps their company a little bit, but ultimately the goal is to help you. And what this device does is it takes advantage of gate control theory in pain management. And if you're interested or you don't understand what that is, back in the 1960s, there were these researchers named Melzack and Wall, and they proposed this concept called the gate control theory. And basically what that means is that there's this neurological gate that opens and closes, and it's contained within the spinal cord. And so obviously when that gate closes, it blocks pain signals from getting to the brain, right? So we don't interpret the sensation of pain. But when that gate is open, then we can experience pain. So certainly too, other than physical pain, there's psychological pain, right? So the things that we think about and the emotional workup that we experience when we know we have the doctor's appointment and we're going in to get that shot, and we're anticipating pain, typically either based on imagined or real memories or experiences, it's going to make that experience more painful, obviously. And we try everything in our power as parents or as physicians or as psychologists to try to minimize the the pain apprehension and to assure everyone that it's going to be over quick. But this little guy actually takes advantage of pain gate control theory. So think about it this way. The last time that you were just walking around the house and you kind of, say you stubbed your toe or, bumped your knee into a piece of furniture, one of the first things we do, or if our child falls, one of the first things we do is we go and we rub the site of the pain. And what that does is it increases the sensory information going up to the brain. That actually does help to reduce the perception or the sensation of pain anytime that we're putting pressure on things. This was made famous by Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid when he did this to Daniel. When Daniel got injured during the karate tournament, he put his hands on it. Now granted, extreme pain, you're not going to be able to just rub your hands and lay hands on it and make it go away. But oftentimes too, we use this even before epidurals during labor and delivery, where we use massage, sitting and bouncing on yoga balls. We are trying to increase that large fiber activity. When we touch the area around whatever is sore or hurting or painful, we start to inhibit that pain sensation. So what this little simple plastic yellow device does, you can see here, it has these little appendages on it. They're pointy, but they don't penetrate the skin. What this is doing, when you put it up here, you hold it on the site where the injection is going to go, and you push your fingers against it. All right, so you're applying a little bit of pressure into the skin. And if I had my shirt off, you'd see it leaves these little kind of dots where these appendages push against your skin. But again, it doesn't break the skin and it doesn't hurt. But what you're doing is you're preparing your pain gate. And what you're doing is you're starting to sort of give your brain signals that there's already some sensation going on here. So by the time that the nurse or the doctor comes in and uses their needle in this open area here, your brain is not going to perceive that as nearly as painful, if at all, because you have just sort of numbed and created that pain gate sensation in the surrounding areas. Um, and I will swear by this device. Obviously, everything is individual, and this is just anecdotal for me to say this, although this company does have some good research on it too. But I remember about 5 years ago, after I first learned about this, taking this in with my children during our annual flu shots. And I remember the nurse who was giving us our shots was curious about it. She said, "What is this thing?" And I said, "Let me show you." And I held it up and I said, "Go ahead and do your thing." And she put her shot in. And for me, it was probably the first time in my entire life that I had never actually felt the sensation of the needle going in. And then, of course, my children got to watch me use it, and they ended up, hopping up on the table and doing it themselves. It also is kind of nice because it gives kids, especially, a feeling of control. But this isn't just for kids; it's for grown-ups too. But kids to feel like they have a little device in hand empowers them, that they are doing something to try to make the pain less. Now, granted, you're going to have to get through that first injection in order to prove your point. We can tell our kids all we want, this is really going to help, but they're going to need to see it to believe it. And hopefully it works out as well for you and or your children as well as it has for me. My doctor's office, my pediatrician's office for my kids, love the device so much that they now stock these in all of their rooms. So you can go into my pediatrician's office. You don't even need to take one with you. They already have them there. You can always call your doctor's office in advance and ask, do you guys carry shot blockers? Do you keep them in the office that we could use for our upcoming, shots, immunizations, whatever it may be? These may be important too during the COVID-19 vaccine for adults who are a little bit squeamish with needles. I would definitely highly recommend that you look into these. And I'll put a link below where you can find these devices. They're typically less than $10, but it may not hurt to call in advance to your doctor's office to find out if they carry these, save you a couple bucks. But $10, I think, or less is money well spent when it comes to managing pain. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. We'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel as well. And you take care. I look forward to talking with you next time.